Okay, so we scoop some of our chips. There's a place on that corner right there that I'm spraying. I wish I can put an injector, a coolant injector, pushing this way while it's running. I think it will really help. We're gonna turn our auger on. Alright, so the machine is clean, almost, and I already line up my fixture plate, which is the same one I'm gonna use to do my cover. Sorry. But I wanted to show you something on this video that I learned yesterday. So I spent time sitting on the computer camming the cover, and I just thought about going back into the camming of the case, which was the one that you saw in the previous video, that when I was roughing with the 2-inch end mill back here, I was making a mess over there. I was cutting too thin and all that kind of stuff. But the worst thing was that I had a line on it. I had a line on it somewhere around here, which is the reason why I have to kind of sand it on the back a little bit. And I said I was gonna buff it or not, but if you see on these marks, I normally use adaptive roughing. I could use pocket off, or in and out, sorry. But since the machine it doesn't have enough room on the y-axis, if I'm pocketing off and on, my tool will come out of there. But anyway, let's stick with adaptive roughing. So all those marks, and they got different shape and all that, is because on adaptive roughing, the tool is actually just like it says, it's adapting to the fixture, adapting to your workpiece, trying to rough out the most material at the time, right? Depending also on this step over that you put on it, right, on your cam. But I was having a problem that I was leaving a line here somewhere in the middle, because my 2-inch end mill is actually not 2-inch. It's a little bit less than 2-inch. And so I fight it, went to the cam, and I lowered it. So I used the calipers, measured my tool, went into my tool table or library or whatever, and change the diameter of my tool 16, which is this one here. You see now I got it on 2-inch. Hope you see that over there. I got it on 2-inch back again. So I put it to 195. So 1,950. So that 50 thousandths less, so it will take care of that little area that I had over there. That was not the trick. I learned the trick yesterday, and it just came out to me. It's crazy. because my biggest problem is if you lower your tool diameter, you're also gonna be overcutting, not undercutting. You're gonna be overcutting if you are beside a wall, because let's say your tool actually have, in this case, this one is 1.97, and I left it at 1.95. So we're talking about another 20,000. So whatever wall you're gonna be cutting around, in my case is this wall right here, around the injection pump boss, I will be cutting another 20,000s, or in diameter it will be 10,000s more. So I will not be dead on. And if something you want when you're roughing around a wall that you want to finish later, you want more material, not less, because you can overcut and then you don't have enough material to get a nice finish, right? So I hope all of that makes sense. So if you're cutting around this boss, you want to leave some material on that wall so you can come back later with your finishing tool and get a nice finish on it. But if you're overcutting that area because the diameter that you put on your previous tool was not the right diameter, and your tool is overcutting because you're actually lying to the software, then you have a problem. That surface is going to be ugly, and it's not going to be on diameter. Let's say that one is not needed to be perfect, but if you need it to be perfect, then you have a big problem. So and this is, I said, well, how do I make the software overlap my cuts? I don't have the ability to go on adaptive roughing and overlap. Is this one here? This is the one I'm working on. Is that so I'm doing an advanced rough, which is adaptive roughing, and then just a C-level finish. So I'm doing my 216, a 2-inch adaptive roughing, climb milling only, 150 thousandths depth of cut, and half an inch step over. So now I have it like that. Before I was doing 0.75, I mean 0.075, like 75 thousandths, and then a full 1-inch step over. And that's why I had all those noises on the very end cut into that area. So I got that fixed, and I changed the diameter on my tool. I put it down to 195, and I was still having excuse me. I was still having problem. I still have the same problem, even though I ran it here on simulation a bunch of time. It still left me a little bit. The reality is that I messed up on the how does it work. The way it works is you can, and this is a tip that I am gonna start using this forever. Any of my roughing tools, I'm gonna put a radius on. So putting a 0 on your corner radius on your tool is not gonna help. It's not gonna help because when you're trying to rough and you compute that tool path, if the software is thinking that you got a square corner, it's gonna come. Let me pull that tool out. Let me pull tool 16 out. Okay, this is my 2-inch end mill, right? I mean, a face mill, and so it's really not a square 0 on my corner radius, and I was messing up over there. So I had the software going crazy, and I thought it was not right or whatever. No, I was not putting the right information in it. So all this insert, they got a small radius on it, and you got to play with that radius when you are adaptive milling, depending on your step over also. But if you're adaptive milling, you are gonna need it, because the software is not going to overlay, it's not going to overlap cuts on top of the other to make sure it will clean up, because it's assuming your tool is a square, perfect, 90-degree square, zero radius on your insert, and it's actually not. So what it'll do is it's going to leave that mark, that little line that I have to sand on that cover that I just finished, on that casing that I just finished. So the idea is go to your tool library, and I'm gonna do this on all my tools, because I had it on a 1/2-inch end mill, adaptive milling, and on my 3/4 also I have the same problem. So here I got my 2-inch face mill, which you see the diameter, I put it back to 2-inch. I had it on 195, but I put some radius on it. I put 50 thousandths on it, and having that 50 thousandths on it will make the software overlap the cut, because it knows it's not going to be able to cut at full square corners, so it's going to overlap when it's doing flatlands. I hope that's clear over there. So let me simulate this, and I'm just gonna move it to that part where a little bit more. Somewhere over there. Slow it down, bring it up here. That's my rapid planes, so it's coming back to do climb millet again. One more cut. Come on. And then it's gonna leave a line. No? Okay, no, another one. Oh yeah, there's our line. So you see that line over there? Let me pause it. That's the same line I was talking about that I had to sand, pretty much. But now I'm leaving the line, but I got it all fixed. And it is leaving the line for now, and you see what's gonna happen. Let me just put it on a better angle, maybe. So we got that line over there. That's the one I had to sand pretty much. It wasn't that big, because now it's leaving the radius of the tool. And come on, don't do that now. Okay. So if we look at the tool, we're gonna see here that the software is even showing our radius right here for our tool, that we tell it to have one on that tool, and the software is actually compensating the adaptive roughing, counting on that. There we go. Let's run it again. So that's my climb milling. I mean, yes, it's gonna do climb milling. It's just running over it now, because that's my rapid planes. It just fly over that 100 thousandths only, and then you see what it's gonna do now. So it looks like it's gonna leave it, and you will see what it'll do. And it took it right under the radius. So yes, my very advice for everyone out there: put a radius on your tool, and your roughing will look nicer, and you will not have to touch it. You'll see now again. There we go. And it actually has less radius than 50,000s, but putting 50,000 is not gonna hurt. I mean, putting more radius is not gonna hurt at all, because we got the same diameter, or you can even put more. In my case, I put, I don't know, I believe like 5,000 more than what he actually has. But anyway, so the as long as you don't damage your diameter on it or change the diameter on it, put a smaller one in it, you will not overcut on the wall, and you actually is not gonna overcut on your flatlands. What you're doing is you're overlapping, because it's taking care of that radius that the tool has, and then it will clean your flatlands. And guys, I learned that yesterday. I was really happy with that. So I don't want to have a sandpaper on it on my parts when I'm done. After, it looked so nice when I was done, and then I had that little bitty line on it. So yes, go ahead and put a corner radius on your roughing tools. Pretty much you can put a roughing radius, I mean a corner radius on all your roughing tools. It's not gonna hurt, as long as you don't change your diameter. Even on the wall, when you're doing a finish, it's actually gonna look on the simulation that you do got a wall over. I mean, you got a radius, and you actually don't have it in reality. But that's not gonna hurt. Your finishing wall is gonna be the same, as long as you don't go crazy with it. But your finishing wall is gonna be the same, and your flatland, they're gonna look even better, because it's gonna overlap, making sure it will take care of that radius, because it's not able to finish. So yes guys, that's my advice. I learned yesterday, after I don't know how many hours sitting here, how do I do this, and that's the way I do it. Or I did it, and I wish I would have another piece of $600 piece of aluminum. I will run it again. But yeah, we're gonna have another chance to do this. That's 100%. So thank you so much for watching, and I'm just gonna put, this is not a small video, but I'm just gonna put all this together, and this is a good information. I'm telling you, this is really good. I mean, in my opinion, because it didn't look good when I was done on that side, and we don't want that. We want to pull out our parts out and make sure they're done right. Okay, thank you. I'll see you in the next one.